Uncharted. In 2011, the Memphis Grizzlies accomplished what most NBA fans considered impossible. They defeated the top-seeded San Antonio Spurs in the Western Conference Series to win their first playoff game ever. After the game, when power forward Zach Randolph, who had been one of the most controversial trades in the team's history just 2 years earlier, was asked what he loved about Memphis, he replied, "It's a blue-collar town, and I'm a blue-collar player, a hard worker. Nothing's been given easily to me, and nothing's been given easily to this town." To many people, Memphis is a city seen through stereotypes. Floods, bloods, blues, and barbecue, to name a few. But for those who call this place home, it's defined by heart, hope, heritage, and a penchant for hanging on. We've been to Memphis a few times on this show, and I've hit the streets a handful of times on my own, either as a teenager or on tour. But inevitably, I always feel like a tourist. I believe in Memphis and respect the grit and grind that defines its citizens as much as its franchises. So this time I'm looking through the lens of a local to get the lowdown. Speaking of down, downward-facing dog seems like a great place to start. Lost in the garden.
My husband would tell you, I can't get anywhere. And but I'm always walking with a purpose.
Right, I like it.
So people will follow me, and I'm like, please don't follow me.
Don't follow me.
I don't know where I'm going. Wake us up.
Oh, yeah, this is beautiful. Like yoga, I gotta remember to be quiet. I'm a loud, high-energy guy. One of the things that's special about a major metropolitan city like Memphis is all the spaces there are to explore. Take sunrise yoga at the Dixon, for example. Fine art? Check. Free flows? Double check. A place that stands for the plurality of the human experience and is committed to diversity in all areas? Well, that's a motto to motivate well beyond morning meditation.
How was it?
I'm super sweaty. I'm very sweaty. Yoga's tough for this guy, at least. It definitely doesn't feel like August.
No,
right now.
this is like,
at least not yet.
This is rare for Memphis.
Yeah.
It's super, super rare.
So we did it.
It's good. We did it. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm hungry. I'm
now
ready
we
to
can be bad the rest of the day. We never know exactly what life will hold for us, as much as we may hope for the best and try to plan for the worst. And as easygoing as we may think we are, it can be difficult to stay flexible. For some of us, more literally than others.
Good. It's a harder workout than a lot of people think, you know?
That's the whole thing.
Like that first 5 minutes, I was like dying.
Yep.
Thank you, Scott.
That's the matcha.
Oh, look how pretty it is.
Wow, look at that.
I know. I love it. So yummy.
What is it?
It's green tea. It's got a little bit of maple syrup. I don't know exactly what's all in it, but it's super good for you. It's got like maca powder in it.
Okay,
and that's
yeah.
like super high in antioxidants, and you gotta try it. It's so yummy.
I'm totally gonna try
It's
it.
weird, like it's super hippie, but it's really good.
Super hippie.
Super hippie, but it's so yummy.
I love it though. The California hippie girl moves to Memphis. Now, tell me again how that happened.
So my dad, I'm the oldest of 8 kids. And in California, that does not work, financially. And
that
so,
sounds expensive.
Yeah, really expensive. And so we moved here to Memphis. My dad took a job here. I don't think any of us ever thought we'd stay, but it's ended up being, I love it. And we get to travel a lot. So as long as as long as I get to see the ocean
Yeah.
and the mountains, then this is like a great place to come home to. I always say that, like I'll be in New York or in LA or somewhere. I'm like, oh, I miss this like hustle bustle.
Yeah.
And then when I land here and I come into our airport, I'm like, actually, this is awesome to come home to. It's a good home base.
Totally.
Yeah.
Michaela's fitness may seem to come naturally, but in fact, it's been hard-won. And she knows better than most, when it seems like everything is failing and all you want to do is fall over, it's more important than ever to find your center, get grounded, and refuse to give up.
I got sick about 3.5 years ago, and ended up having to undergo a surgery that basically destroyed me physically. And so my first surgery, I've had 10 in 3.5 years. With the first surgery, you know, I'd gone from being, you know, a professional athlete and a fitness model to, you know, I went into the hospital 130 pounds in shape and left at 94 pounds and didn't even look like the same person.
Oh my gosh. 94 pounds, and you use the word devastated? Your body
Destroyed.
was, destroyed.
Yeah.
I mean, those are, so now, I mean, just seeing you in front of me now, it is hard to imagine. I mean, it really is. I mean, you're strong, your spirit, I mean, you're full of life, bright.
I'm so grateful for genetics because I have no idea how somehow, it's like the minute I would start to get a little bit better, my muscles would come back, my strength would come back, and I would respond super, super quickly. I think from years of training and being an athlete, it came back so easy.
Right.
But it kind of ended up being, you know, a lot of people said kind of a curse because I'll see 10 doctors in an hour and 20 nurses, and every one of them walks in, oh, you look too good to be in here, you know, and you want to scream because you are just dying inside. You feel so bad.
Oh, here we go.
Didn't that look awesome? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So yummy. This is back in probably June. It was after my surgery and I still had a pump in to drain fluid from my chest. I'm in Whole Foods and I'm checking out, and all of a sudden I feel I had to wear this belt that would hold my pump, that would hold everything, and I could feel it sliding like down my waist. And I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna, you know, expand my rib cage and walk out with my groceries. And so I've got both my groceries in my hand and I'm walking out and the thing falls, like falls.
Yeah.
And I'm standing there and I had just walked out the doors. And I know that whoever's walking in, I mean, you see this thing full of like blood and fluid and it's hanging in between my legs. And I'm like, this is freaking unbelievable. And I'm like about to lose it. And then I just started laughing. I was like, you know what? And I picked up my phone and shot a picture right there in my outfit. And I just put, but just so y'all know, not everything is perfect. And just because I look like this today doesn't mean, you know?
Right.
And the response I got was just like, you know, people were dying laughing, or they were just like, this is amazing, or whatever. But that's my goal, is to show people the realness and to show them that, you know, a picture does not mean anything. You know, I don't think I even realized that it was happening while it was happening, you know. It was, having a blog was a way for me just to kind of write this and look back to see how far I've come. I started getting just kind of random emails from people, just, hey, you changed my life today, or hey, I even had one girl that was like, I just read about your first surgery and the suffering you went through, and I was suicidal, and you have given me a reason to live. You've given me a reason to not do this, because I realized, like, my stuff is nothing. Like, a man leaving me is nothing, or whatever, you know? And I started thinking, you know, if I can turn my suffering into something good, then it was all worth it, you know? I noticed that, you know, the more vulnerable I was, the more open I was, the more readers I got, and the more people were responding, and the more people it was touching.
Thanks to much needed fuel at City Silo, one of Michaela's favorites, my belly is finally full. And honestly, so is my heart. I recently heard that hardship doesn't build character, it reveals it. And this statement holds very true for Michaela and her family.